Priority Services Register. This is a free UK support list for older or vulnerable people. Back when the energy market was privatized in the 1990s, regulators created this database to protect at-risk customers. If you sign up with your utility supplier, they flag your account. When a storm knocks out the grid, they pull up this list first. You then get priority phone support, early warnings for planned cut, and physical help like portable generators delivered to your door. Energy companies rarely advertise it because giving out these extra services costs them money and administrative time. It remains a crucial safety net to ensure nobody gets left sitting alone in the cold and dark. Warm Home Discount. The Warm Home Discount is a government scheme that cuts heating costs for low-income households. First introduced in 2011, it gives a one-off £150 credit directly to your electricity account between October and March. If you get the guarantee credit portion of pension credit, the government usually spots this and tells your supplier. However, some people on different benefits have to actively call their energy company to claim the discount before the winter deadline passes. When it goes through, you just see a £150 deduction on your winter electricity bill, meaning you owe less money during the coldest months. This straightforward credit matters because it keeps vulnerable people from freezing in their own homes. Winter fuel payments. This is a tax-free grant introduced in 1997 by the UK government to help older people afford their heating bills. Previously, you got it just for reaching state pension age. Now the rules are stricter. To qualify, you must be over pension age and receive specific benefits like pension credit. If you meet these conditions, the process is automatic. Between November and December, you will see a payment of £200 to £300 drop directly into your bank account. This extra cash helps you turn up the thermostat without stressing about the cost. It still matters today because it protects our elderly from freezing when winter energy prices spike. Cold weather payments. These are extra funds the UK government hands out when it gets freezing outside. Introduced in 1986, the program runs from November to March. If your local temperature drops to 0 degrees Celsius or below for 7 days in a row, a process triggers. You do not have to apply for anything. An automatic payment of £25 simply appears in your bank account within a couple of weeks. This cash helps you cover the sudden spike in your utility bills from cranking up the radiators. It still matters today because it keeps vulnerable households from having to choose between staying warm and buying groceries during harsh winter snaps. Escape variable tariffs. A variable tariff is the default energy plan your supplier puts you on when your contract expires. Energy companies actually rely on you for getting the switch. Historically, this was known as the loyalty penalty, silently costing millions of households hundreds of extra dollars every single year. When wholesale energy prices drop, companies often keep your rates high on these default plans, quietly pocketing the difference. As a result, your monthly bills slowly creep up, and you end up paying far more for the exact same electricity. Locking in a fixed-rate plan completely shields you from these sudden price hikes. It guarantees predictable bills, proving that taking just 10 minutes to switch still saves you serious cash today. Reclaim credit balances. This is the money your energy provider owes you when you overpay. When you set up a monthly direct debit, suppliers often overestimate how much power you actually use. Over time, you build up a big surplus. Instead of refunding you automatically, energy companies quietly hold onto this cash to boost their own daily cash flow. UK regulators recently found suppliers sitting on over £3 billion of customer money. The result is you log into your online account and see hundreds of pounds just sitting there in credit. You must actively contact them to request a payout. Demanding your refund matters because that cash belongs in your bank account. Hardship fund grants. These are quiet pools of money that major energy companies set aside to forgive debt for struggling customers. You will not see them advertised on television. To get access, you first need to speak to a recognized debt advisor. They help you write down a detailed budget showing your income and expenses. Once you have this proof, you apply directly through your supplier's website. Big names like British Gas, E.ON, and Scottish Power all run these funds. If they approve your application, the company simply wipes out your energy arrears. Your heavy account balance vanishes overnight. This matters today because it offers a completely clean slate when you truly have no other way to pay. Lower boiler flow. A combi boiler flow temperature is how hot water gets before leaving the unit for your radiators. Historically, installers left these factory set at 80 degrees Celsius. At that heat, a modern boiler cannot actually condense. To fix this, you just use the front panel to drop the flow down to 60 degrees. The visible effect is that your radiators feel slightly cooler and rooms take a few minutes longer to warm up. But your house still reaches the exact same comfortable temperature. This simple trick forces the system into high-efficiency mode, saving around 9% on gas without making the house colder. Free insulation schemes. This is a government push to make cold homes warmer without charging the people who live there. Back in 2022, the UK rolled out the fourth phase of the Energy Company Obligation, or ECO4. It works by legally forcing large energy suppliers to pay for home efficiency upgrades. If you are a pensioner getting pension credit, you simply apply through an approved installer. The energy companies cover the entire bill. Workers arrive, fill your empty cavity walls with insulating beads, and roll thick mineral wool across your loft floor. Your home immediately traps the heat inside, cutting down the cold drafts in your living room. This matters today because it permanently shrinks winter heating bills for those who need help the most. The thermostat trick. This is a simple way to hack your winter energy use. You just walk over to your wall dial and turn the heat down by a single degree. During the 1970s energy crisis, governments urged people to drop their home temperatures drastically. Today, you do not need to freeze. Your furnace simply runs less often to maintain this slightly lower baseline. The visible effect shows up right on your monthly statement. According to energy experts, dropping your room temperature by just 1 degree Celsius can comfortably cut your overall heating bill by up to 10%. It still matters today because it puts money directly back in your pocket without you even noticing the chill. Economy 7. Trap. An Economy 7 meter is an older energy setup charging two different prices for electricity. In the late 1970s, power companies wanted people to use excess grid energy overnight, offering a cheaper rate for 7 hours. To get that discount, you pay a much higher premium during the day. The problem is that many pensioners are stuck on these legacy meters but live normal daytime lives. They boil kettles and run the heating while the sun is up, racking up bills on the expensive daytime rate. Unless you use heavy appliances or night storage heaters while you sleep, this trap silently drains your wallet. A standard flat rate is a much cheaper option today. Smart meter tariffs. Smart meters first rolled out in the late 2000s to replace old analog dials. Many people think installing one automatically shrinks their bill, but that is false. The device itself does not save a single watt. Instead, its job is to track exactly when you use power and send that data to your provider. This unlocks access to time-of-use tariffs. With these plans, electricity prices change throughout the day. You can program your dishwasher or charge a car late at night when rates are dirt cheap. This matters because it puts you in control, letting you cut costs simply by changing when you do everyday chores. Phantom energy drain. This is the electricity your devices pull from the wall when they are turned off but still plugged in. Back in the 1990s, electronics started relying heavily on standby modes to power remote receivers and digital clocks. Even when you hit the power button, the machine keeps running background tasks. Older appliances are the worst offenders. This constant trickle of electricity spins your meter all day and night. According to the Department of Energy, this vampire power accounts for up to 10% of an average residential electric bill. You literally pay for nothing. Unplugging unused electronics completely stops this hidden waste, keeping that money in your pocket. Thermostatic radiator valves. Invented in the 1940s, these are small dials attached to the side of your radiators. Inside the dial is a capsule filled with wax or liquid. When you turn the dial to a specific number, you set your target temperature. As the room warms up, the material inside the capsule expands. This pushes a tiny metal pin down, which physically blocks the hot boiler water from flowing into that specific radiator. The radiator cools down while the rest of the house keeps heating. You can dial down an unused guest bedroom and keep the living room nice and warm. This creates precise temperature zones in your home, ensuring you never waste money heating empty spaces. Negotiate standing charges. A standing charge is a fixed daily fee you pay your energy supplier to stay connected to the grid. When dozens of energy companies collapsed in 2021, Surviving suppliers absorbed the costs and raised standing charges to compensate. Regulators strictly cap the price you pay for actual energy units, but these daily fixed fees vary widely between companies. To lower this, you need to run a comparison online and focus on the daily rate, not just the unit price. Switching to a cheaper fee immediately shrinks your base bill. This still matters today because it stops you from paying hundreds of pounds a year before you even turn on a single light. Free energy-saving gadgets. These are simple tools like aerated shower heads and tap inserts that utility companies often provide for nothing. For decades, providers have run these programs to lower grid demand. You simply request a free kit online, unscrew your old faucet nozzle, and screw on the new one. This aerator forces air into the stream, keeping pressure high while letting less water through. As a result, you save thousands of gallons a year without noticing a difference. Since you draw less hot water, your water heater hardly breaks a sweat. Water heating accounts for roughly 20% of household energy use, so these free little parts remain one of the easiest ways to permanently shrink your monthly utility bills. DIY draft proofing. Draft proofing is the simple act of blocking unwanted gaps around your home. You find spots where cold air sneaks in, like window edges, exterior doors, or an open letterbox. Then, you cover those gaps using cheap materials you can install yourself. You peel and stick foam weather strips along window frames, slide a draft excluder under the door, and screw a brush seal over the letterbox. When you finish, the rooms instantly feel less breezy. Your central heating does not have to work as hard to replace expensive warm air. This still matters because the Environmental Protection Agency notes that sealing these leaks can cut your home heating bills by up to 15%. Council Tax Energy Support. This is extra financial help managed by your local government to keep your lights on. Back in 2022, the government issued a £150 council tax rebate to offset soaring energy costs. Today, councils still get money through the Household Support Fund to help vulnerable residents. You just go to your local council's website, search for energy support, and apply by showing your utility bills. When approved, the council either sends money directly to your bank account or credits your energy supplier. You actually see your bill drop. This safety net remains vital because it stops families from freezing when money gets tight.